Just tuck in your shoes. I'm tucking my shirt. You're covered in blood.
There are action trailers that just promise chaos, and then there are trailers that immediately lock onto a clock and make every punch feel heavier. That is exactly what Runner does. The second this trailer reveals that Alan Ritchson's character is carrying a liver that has to reach a dying little girl before time runs out, the movie stops feeling like another generic chase thriller and starts feeling like a pressure cooker. Suddenly, every bullet, every crash, every wrong turn matters more, because this is not just about survival. It is about whether one man can keep a child alive while an entire criminal machine tries to turn that mission into a payday. And honestly, that is a very smart hook, because on the surface, Runner absolutely looks like the kind of movie people expect Alan Ritchson to make right now. There are fistfights, car chases, explosions, gunfire, and the familiar image of Ritchson bulldozing through danger like a human battering ram. But what gives this trailer its edge is that it does not just sell his physicality. It sells urgency. It sells responsibility. It sells the idea that the package in his hands matters more than he does. That instantly gives the movie more heart than a lot of modern action thrillers ever bother chasing. Ritchson plays Hank Malone, a former soldier who gets handed one brutally simple assignment: deliver a vital organ to save a child's life. The problem, of course, is that there is a cartel in the way, and the trailer makes that threat feel immediate from the jump. The moment Hank asks how much the organ would sell for on the black market, you can practically feel the movie shifting gears. The masked men close in, the stakes clarify, and suddenly this is not a delivery. It is a warpath with a ticking clock attached. That setup works because it is clean, almost brutally clean. Runner does not need a giant mythology dump or a tangled web of exposition to get going. The mission is simple. The deadline is terrifying. The enemy is organized. And the guy in the middle of it looks like someone who knows exactly how ugly things are about to get. In action storytelling, that kind of clarity is gold. It gives the movie room to move fast without feeling shallow, and Ritchson is basically built for a role like this. At this point, audiences know exactly what he brings to the table physically. Reacher turned him into one of the most convincing action leads working right now because he does not just look intimidating. He understands how to play contained violence. He knows how to stand still and make it feel like a threat. He knows how to hit with weight. That matters in a movie like Runner, because the premise only works if you believe this guy can survive impossible odds long enough to keep the mission alive. But what makes this trailer more interesting than a basic Ritchson beats a bad guy's package is the emotional framing around Hank. The phone line in the trailer, where he promises that nothing in the world will stop them from reaching the girl, tells me the movie wants this mission to feel personal even if it starts as an assignment. That is important. A one-night action thriller can become forgettable very fast if the hero is just physically moving through obstacle after obstacle. There has to be something underneath the motion. There has to be a pulse. Runner seems to understand that the pulse here is not revenge or ego. It is obligation. It is the refusal to let innocence die because evil saw a business opportunity that also gives the villains a cleaner and nastier identity. The cartel is not just dangerous because it is armed. It is dangerous because it is willing to treat a child's only chance at survival like a commodity. That is immediate moral clarity, and action movies often work best when they know exactly where the line is. The trailer does not waste time trying to blur that line. These are the people standing between life and death, and Hank is the man trying to smash through them. I also think Owen Wilson's presence gives the whole movie a slightly unexpected texture. He is not the first name people imagine in a grim survival action setup like this, which is exactly why he is useful here. His early scene with Hank gives the trailer a different rhythm before everything explodes. He helps establish the stakes in a more human register, and because Wilson naturally brings a certain conversational looseness, that opening exchange makes the situation feel strangely grounded right before the violence arrives. It is a small thing, but it matters. Action thrillers need contrast. If everything is turned up to 11 from the first second, nothing lands as hard. Scott Waugh also feels like a logical fit for this material. His action work tends to move with speed and impact. And Runner looks like it is leaning fully into a stripped-down survival format instead of trying to become a giant overcomplicated franchise starter. That is good news. This kind of movie should feel direct. It should feel like one bad day getting worse by the minute. And from the trailer, that is exactly the energy. One city, one route, one dying child, one man getting hunted from every angle. There is no need to overbuild that when the central engine is already strong. What I like most, though, is that Runner seems to understand the difference between action and momentum. Plenty of movies have action. Not all of them have forward drive. This trailer does. Every sequence feels connected to a single desperate objective. The car chases are not there just because the movie needs a car chase. The fights are not there just because the lead actor is huge. The explosions are not there just because trailers need noise. Everything appears to be orbiting the same brutal question. Can Hank get to that hospital before the clock kills the mission for him? That is exactly the kind of structure that can make a straightforward action movie hit harder than expected. When the objective is that clear, the audience starts mentally counting the minutes with the hero. Every delay hurts. Every ambush matters. Every injury feels like it could be the one that finally slows him down too much. That is how you turn a basic action premise into tension, and yes, part of the appeal here is absolutely the fact that Ritchson is in his action star phase right now. There is real value in knowing how to sell a movie through a body in motion, and he has that down. But if Runner works, it will not just be because he looks believable punching through windshield glass and cartel soldiers. It will work because the film seems to understand how to wrap that physicality around a mission the audience can emotionally invest in. That is why this trailer lands. It is not pretending to be something it is not. It is not trying to sell itself as prestige cinema in disguise. It is promising a tense, muscular, time-sensitive action thriller with a clean emotional spine and a lead actor who knows how to carry this exact kind of movie. Sometimes that is all you need. Actually, when it is done right, that is more than enough. Runner hits theaters on September 11, 2026, and based on this first trailer, it already looks like one of those movies built for a crowd that just wants to grip the armrest for 90 minutes and watch one man refuse to lose. And if it sticks the landing, that could be a very good time. Until the next one, keep your foot on the gas. Because Alan Ritchson is not just running from the cartel this time. He is racing the clock itself.